Okay, here's a quick look at the E-mini S&P for Thursday, July the 29th, 2010. Um, well, we had mentioned yesterday that the major support was down in the 93 area, and the market did get below it today. But as you can see here, it didn't stay all that long, had a nice rejection from there, and rallied off of that low some 15 or so points. But then it did come back a little bit later in the day. By the way, these are the market profiles that we're looking at right here. This is today, and this is yesterday's, and the one in the middle here is what occurred overnight. So you can see in the overnight session more of the consolidation that we had mentioned yesterday. After this sideways move, we'd had this up move and then the sideways here. So um, for the time being, we're still in the camp that this was a reaction type or correction type move within the context of an intraday up auction. However, because the market almost held below 93, that if it should go back down again tomorrow, because tomorrow, of course, we've got some very important news. GDP at 8:30, employment cost index, Chicago PMI, and consumer sentiment. So all of these can really affect the market. And if it does hold below 93 for an extended time tomorrow, then probably going to get a good down leg. However, as I said yesterday, that quite possibly if we got the sell-off today or on Friday, it could be a really good buying opportunity. So, the buying opportunity down there around 93 was pretty good because it did have a really nice bounce from there, 10 plus points, but it didn't really hold, and so that's somewhat suspect. So I think we've really got to watch to see if it can, what's it going to do around the 93 level come tomorrow. So we also like to utilize the market profiles for the regular trading hours, and you can see them right here. As far as our software was concerned, you can see that we had some short entries here to kick off the day in here, and a couple in here, and then we had a long trade here. This first trade here came within a tick of our entry price, as you can see. So it wasn't filled until a little bit later and did have a nice drop off from there. Although by that time, not really the preferred time to take it, in the same sense of the second trade that was triggered or set up here wasn't actually triggered short with a fill in here. And it did have another down leg from that point as well. The other trades here, there's actually three of them in here, if you can see, 1, 2, and 3 arrows right there. And so we ended up by getting short right about here, and it did fall off, bounce, and then fall off again. So we ended up reaching our first objective here, but then getting stopped out when it had the bounce higher. As you can see, after that we did have a nice long indication right here. Unfortunately, as you can see, that arrow, I should say the dashed blue line, ended up for the rest of the day because the market never did pull back to there, but then had that strong rally. So this is what I was speaking of yesterday. That could be a really good buying opportunity today if it could get down to in around that 93 area and get a nice rejection. And so what we do in cases like this is when everything has fallen into place like that, even if the market's not going to pull off, we will use another type of indicator to get us in which case we'll go ahead and use, like you can see these deceleration bars here, diamonds and triangles on the low here. This is an attempt by the market to push lower towards support, but end up as being exhaustive in nature. And so when a rejection like that occurs, of course, you want to get on board. And that was really our opportunity there to get on board for that kind of trade. So that was sort of more of a market logic kind of thing that our traders would have been doing today. But at any rate, that's what happened in the market today, and that's still a good area of support down there at 93, right where our trade was triggered. And we're looking to see what happens once the news is released tomorrow to see if we can jump on board something like that. But if it can hold below for too much longer, watch out, because we could be in for a leg down. And of course the next area up is still around that 1104, 1105 area that I mentioned yesterday. That's still a fairly nice barrier. So thanks for taking the time to view the video. You can reach us, of course, at any time. info@eminidaytrader.com, and of course our phone number is on the website as well. So thanks for taking the time to view the video, and we'll see you again tomorrow.